What is up, guys? DT Ninja here for you guys my RuroKen Hokkaido Arc Chapter 53 discussion. Alright guys, I hope you guys enjoyed that special intro. And a big thanks to Chris JP20 as always for the color skins. Let's dive right into the chapter. So chapter 53, we have Sonosuke Sagara and Anji Yakuzan versus Doi of the Kinkaku Heki. So we have a battle. Obviously in the last chapter, we had a Futai no Kiwami strike. Both Sano and Anji strike Doi of the Kinkaku Heki right in the gut. So they're down on the ground, there's a hole in their chest, and all of a sudden they leap up and they shatter the armor. And the big shocker is that not only are they alive, but it's a woman. And not only a woman, it's a dangerous woman, because she just comes out fist flying, smashes Sano in the face, kicks him in the head, and then she's just bashing Anji like crazy. So we have a very serious and dangerous villain here, and it's a female. This is very rare for Kenshin, so it's pretty interesting. So yeah, I wanted to discuss some things about the chapter. So number one, why does Anji call Doi's rock armor Gusoku? So at the moment when the armor shatters, they come out and they have these glaring eyes. Anji says Gusoku, so he's basically saying it's full body armor. And what that is a reference to is samurai armor. So we're talking about, you know, ancient times in the Muromachi period to the Edo period. And this type of armor had various kind of elements like iron and leather, and you had all these things for protection. So when a samurai went into battle, they didn't just go out in something like this, right? You know, they're fully clothed, and they have the metal armor, they have sometimes it was iron, they have the leather, like I said, and there's different types. So Gusoku literally means a full body armor, and specifically a samurai armor. So yeah, it's quite interesting that that's a reference, but yeah, I wanted to point that out. So, okay, number two. What other clans within Kinkaku Heki exist besides the Doi clan? So in this chapter, Mogura, which is the given name of Doi, basically she says, you smashed the pride and joy of the Doi clan to bits. I'm in shock. It's amazing. So she's like really complimenting the Futai no Kiwami. She had no idea it's that strong. So yeah, that was interesting. But what other clans exist that have abilities and strength like this special rock armor? This special rock armor can be used as a weapon. It can also be used for defense, and it also can be used for intel, because they can travel underground and just gather information very easily. So it's very useful. In her case, it's an heirloom of her family. So that's very interesting. Other clans, I would say Ono. Ono was the splitting axe fist. And what he did is he would always train just inside of iron sand. And he would basically have 4 fingers like this. And he would just dip them in the iron sand as if he's hitting, you know, like with his fist, but instead he would use it like a blade. That would be the Ono clan's axe fist, the splitting axe fist. I feel like that's probably something in his family. Although we learn in the chapter, and I'm kind of backtracking here, this is just me off the top of my head, we learn that he doesn't really have any family. So maybe the Ono clan is out. So I just realized that. Then let's go to the next one. How about Hago? Hago, we haven't learned his actual name, but that's his clan given name as the commander of Kinkaku Heki. This is the guy that basically did the Shinra Tensei, basically pushes the wind and everything goes flying. This is at Kabato prison and he went MIA. Yeah, that guy. Maybe there's some wind technique with that family, with that clan. We don't know the name of it. Definitely Shimonji, the one with the wire blade. You know, he can connect the wires and he can also use it to listen in on people. I feel like that's probably a clan trait. Another one, Kanzato, but we have no idea what kind of power he has. Fuyukai, the one with the samurai armor. Yeah, I feel like he probably has a clan trait as well, but we have no idea on that either. Itakura Byakuya, one of the main antagonists of this sequel series, definitely has a clan trait, and I feel like maybe it has to do with the kind of bracelets he wears, because they kind of seem just like jewelry, but when you see him use it, when he actually like uses his fist, you can just tell they're doing something. They have some sort of power, blocking power. It like increases reflexes or something. I feel like maybe that's his clan trait. Of course, we know Itakura is a lot stronger than those kind of tools, but maybe that's something of his clan. Hyobei was the skull. He had the scythe blades, and the scythe blades were very unique. So I feel like maybe those were something that were in their clan. Now, maybe their actual kind of hypnotizing technique where they basically carve people up and it looks almost like a magician's act. I mean, that could be something from their clan. It's supposed to be otherworldly because, he's supposed to represent the god of death. But yeah, maybe that's something of their clan. So those are just off the top of my head. But if you guys can think of any, you can let me know in the comments. Number 3, do you think Doi suffered similar to Anji? Obviously, Anji suffered greatly when the abolition of Buddhism happened, and of course, he loses the woman he loved, as well as her sisters and brothers, and those were going to be his family. They were all going to be a family, and they burn up in the fire, and yeah, he suffered, right? Now, of course, Doi mentions this, but they kind of have this sinister, almost like maniacal look when they're talking to him. But it does beg the question in this chapter. Anji does question, why did she say that to me? Why did this person say about the children in the Pure Land? Obviously, it's a hint that they are of Buddhist faith just like Anji, but did they suffer? That's the question. Of course, something happened to her, but we don't know. It's a very interesting thing to think about what really happened to Doi for her to be like this. Especially, she's quite, she's not very nice, right? I mean, she's not naive, that's for sure. Yeah, she's pretty vicious, we see in this chapter. Number 4, is Doi still holding back? So we get the rock armor, basically it's like Lee from Naruto dropping the weights, and she's way stronger, she's way faster, nobody can catch her, and it's just her strength is, increased exponentially. But remember, Kenkaku Heki have this ability within their eyes, within their blood cells, within their muscles. They all increase when the blood is poured right through and the red of the eyes come out. The Sekiriki, the brilliance. We haven't seen that. And of course, thanks to Chris JP20, we got an idea of what the color looks like. Now, originally I thought they were white eyes, but I really like what he did. He made them green, and you have the prayer beads with green, you have her outfit green. It just looks really nice in that regard. So, yeah, I still think she's Kenkaku Heki of the original clan. But yeah, it does beg the question if she's holding back, because we all know to be a Kenkaku Heki, you must have Sekiriki. That is a requirement. So that I kind of answered my own question, right? But if she isn't, then that means there are a few people outside of the clan that were brought in. So that is a possibility. But I don't think so, especially at the very end of the chapter where she says, can you fight? Can you kill? Can you survive? That's all that matters. So, like, she has that brainwashed kind of view from Kenkaku Heki, as all the others do. You know, it's kill or be killed. There is no other option. Yeah, that's my take on it. What's the secret behind Doi's strength? So there's a secret behind it, and it's in my hands. If you notice Doi, she has this prayer bead, and it's pretty long. It's like the mala prayer beads, and it's basically wrapped around her hands, and it's going all across her arm, her forearm, and she got two of them, right? And then you can see it on her ankles as well. So I got to thinking, is this how she is able to use her abilities? Is this how she's able to create weapons from nothing? You know, is this part of her power? It seems to be an increase in her power. So that's what I think. Because if you notice, like when she smashes Sanosuke, she has it in her fist. She literally has the prayer beads in her hand. She's like gripped it. And the same thing, you know, it's wrapped around her ankles. So yeah, that's how she tunnels underground so quickly. That's what her speed is and increase in power. So this could also be her weakness. So what I'm saying is the way to defeat her is to take those things off, because maybe that's her actual source of her power. Because as you guys know, in Buddhism, these things are quite, you know, kind of precious. You know, they're prayer beads, but hers look really, really thick, almost like of a stone or something. So, but it's very interesting, and I do think that those beads were the reason why she's able to use all of her techniques. And of course, graboids, now I understand it better, grabbing the weapons with her hands and her feet. Literally, she can turn things into, you know, from earth, you know, rock, sand. That's why it says she has unlimited hands, right? So, but yeah, that's my feeling. Her weakness could be the beads. And that's basically based on the fact that she's, when she's attacking, that you can visibly see them, right? And we don't see her attack them without them. So I feel like, you know, this was something she was hiding all along, and now they're exposed. So this could be a strategy to defeat her. But that's my thinking. What do you guys think? The last question, can Sano Senken counter Doi's striking attacks? So as we know, her strength, speed, agility have all increased a lot. But can Sano Senken, where he literally has his hand outstretched and he blocks the attack, can it counter one of her strikes? I'm going to say yes and no, because her speed and strength has increased, but I wouldn't count Sano out, because remember, he took a blow from the splitting axe fist, and he actually was able to injure Ono to the point where he was vulnerable, and that's when he struck with his Senken. Of course, that is a defense, but it made the Futai no Kiwami that much stronger. So I wouldn't count him out, but that is something they have to work around, I feel. Maybe strategy is the way to go for this one. But anyways, guys, that's my discussion. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments, and I will see you guys in the next video.